Why the new state Route 91 Aurora jet has everyone talking about Mach 6 again. The Phantom legend returns. For decades, the name Aurora has echoed through the halls of military aviation circles, conspiracy forums, and black-budget defense speculations. First whispered about in the late 1980s, the state Route 91 Aurora was rumored to be America's hypersonic successor to the legendary state Route 71 Blackbird. With supposed speeds reaching Mach 6, Aurora became a ghost story of Cold War aviation, a jet that allegedly existed but was never publicly confirmed. But now, in 2025, whispers are turning into roars. Satellite images, high-altitude contrail patterns, and defense insider leaks have once again stirred speculation. Has the U.S. Air Force finally unveiled the state Route 91 Aurora? Or are we witnessing the next phase of hypersonic aviation warfare? A jet that shouldn't exist, but might. The original state Route 71 Blackbird was an engineering marvel, flying at Mach 3.3 and altitudes over 85,000 feet. It was the ultimate Cold War spy plane. But it was retired in the late 90s. Since then, the U.S. hasn't officially fielded any aircraft capable of matching that speed until now. Enter Aurora, or what defense insiders now suggest may be its modernized evolution. The leaked designation state Route 91 implies it is the spiritual and technological successor to the state Route 71, except faster, stealthier, and likely unmanned. The Mach 6 milestone. To reach Mach 6, over 4,600 miles per hour, an aircraft must endure physics that border on science fiction. We're talking about temperatures hot enough to melt aluminum, skin friction that could tear apart normal airframes, and engines that would choke at lower speeds. Yet recent breakthroughs in scramjet propulsion, thermal-resistant composites, and AI-assisted flight controls suggest that the impossible might now be reality. DARPA's HTV-3X Black Swift, NASA's X-43A, and the Air Force's X-51 Waverider have all proven that hypersonic speeds are achievable, at least in bursts. So if the state Route 91 Aurora is real, it likely incorporates these very technologies, especially scramjet propulsion, which only works at hypersonic speeds and could explain why the craft remains invisible at lower altitudes. Sightings, leaks, and the donuts on a rope contrail. For years, skywatchers near Groom Lake, Area 51, and Edwards AFB have reported sonic booms, strange flight patterns, and a bizarre contrail formation known as donuts on a rope. Unlike conventional jet trails, these consist of repeating rings, suggesting a pulse detonation or scramjet engine. In 2024, a civilian satellite imaging company accidentally captured what appeared to be a wedge-shaped object traveling at extremely high altitude over the Pacific Test Range. The object's trail matched the donuts pattern, and the timing coincided with an unannounced hypersonic flight corridor closure by the FAA. Coincidence? Probably not. What we know so far: shape and design. Leaked schematics suggest a sleek, delta-wing or arrowhead-shaped craft, optimized for extreme speed and reduced radar signature. Its airframe is likely built with carbon-carbon composites and titanium alloys, similar to the state Route 71, but more advanced. Propulsion. Rumors indicate the use of a combined cycle engine, a turbojet that morphs into a ramjet or scramjet at high speeds. This would allow the state Route 91 to take off from a runway and accelerate to hypersonic speed without needing a booster rocket. Crew. Most insiders believe the state Route 91 is unmanned or optionally manned, relying heavily on AI navigation, sensor fusion, and satellite communication. Human pilots at Mach 6 face G-forces, thermal conditions, and blackout risks that machines simply don't. Mission: surveillance, strategic reconnaissance, and possibly prompt global strike. The state Route 91 could replace satellites in contested or jammed environments, deliver non-nuclear kinetic strikes, or scout airspace far behind enemy lines, all within minutes. Strategic implications. Speed is the new stealth. The SR-91's greatest advantage isn't just stealth, it's speed. Hypersonic jets rewrite the rules of warfare. Reaction time is slashed. Enemies have minutes or even seconds to respond. Intercept is nearly impossible. Current surface-to-air missile systems are too slow to catch something moving at Mach 6. Survivability increases. You can't hit what you can't catch, and radar tracking becomes unreliable at such speeds. Combined with stealth shaping, plasma cloaking, and advanced ECM, electronic countermeasures, the State Route 91 would be the most elusive aircraft ever built. A new arms race? The resurgence of Aurora speculation coincides with Russia's and China's hypersonic programs. China has already tested the Starry Sky 2 Waverider, and Russia's Avangard glide vehicle can allegedly reach Mach 20. The US cannot afford to be behind. If the State Route 91 is real, it could be the Pentagon's ace card, a platform that outpaces, outsmarts, and outlasts global competitors. It would also explain why billions in black budget spending remain unaccounted for year after year. From the State Route 71 to State Route 91, a secret legacy. The idea of a hypersonic successor to the State Route 71 isn't new. In fact, Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, the same black project division that designed the State Route 71, has been teasing something faster for years. Engineers like the late Ben Rich, former head of Skunk Works, have hinted at classified projects that would make science fiction look tame. During congressional hearings in the early 1990s, budget line items labeled Aurora appeared under vague titles such as high-speed research and advanced aerospace threat detection. That was enough to fuel 3 decades of speculation. Many believe the State Route 91 program was shelved in the 1990s due to budget constraints and re-emerged in the late 2010s as global hypersonic competition heated up. In essence, the State Route 91 is more than a jet. It's the missing link between the State Route 71 and the future of aerospace dominance. AI flight management. At Mach 6, there's no time for manual corrections. The State Route 91 likely relies on AI co-pilots, which constantly adjust flight parameters, engine performance, thermal load, and route optimization in real time far faster than a human pilot could. Why secrecy still matters. Some question why the US would keep such a program under wraps. The answer? Deterrence through ambiguity. By not confirming Aurora's existence, the US maintains strategic uncertainty. Enemies don't know what it's capable of, or when and where it might be flying. It also prevents adversaries from rapidly developing countermeasures. Publicly revealing the State Route 91 too early could also disrupt diplomatic balances, trigger preemptive technological races, or even violate international treaties on high-speed weaponization of space. The final proof? Earlier this year, a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, request revealed heavily redacted Air Force documents referring to a platform named Project Aurora-X, with classified design notes, budget allocations, and propulsion system references. The details were vague, but the language unmistakably pointed toward a next-gen hypersonic reconnaissance vehicle. And in May 2025, amateur radio interceptors picked up encrypted telemetry signals from a craft flying over the Pacific that matched military drone communications, but on a new encrypted frequency range, one never used before. Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.